Hello everyone, welcome back to Sports Khabri. Arun Foot and Curious Harry with me are Arnav and Hiren. Guys, this ISL week is just getting better and better because we saw this 4-2 thrilling clash between the Blasters and East Bengal. East Bengal winning this one in the end. Yeah, lots to talk about, lots to discuss. Of course, from the table perspective, a lot of things changed. And yeah, it's going to be fun to run through this. Arnav, your first thoughts on this game?
Good evening, everyone. The first thought that I had was, luckily Punjab lost yesterday. From a Kerala Blasters perspective, because this is just not, you know, just not good enough anymore. And I've said this over the last few weeks multiple times when Chennai and East Bengal were cut off the list from the top six race, and I said, let's wait until the last match day, because this season has been so crazy that any team can still get in there. And today was the proof. And I think Kerala Blasters have a coach issue. I think that is the point that needs to be discussed. I think they have a coach issue, if they like it or not. And because Vukovanovic, to me, if you watch his pre-match press conference yesterday, sounded a lot like Steamach. Everyone's to blame. So therefore, from that perspective, it doesn't work with this fan base and everything. And interestingly, the commentator said it towards the end as well, right? The Blasters very often finish with a negative goal difference, despite finishing top 4, top 6, right there. So there is something structurally that needs to be discussed. So to me, it's very, very clear that if we look at the Blasters, that's the thing. And with East Bengal back in the mix, 2 matches to go. And as I said yesterday to Hiren also, I don't want to guess who's going to finish in the top 6, because this is so crazy in a positive way and makes it so interesting. Let's look forward to that.
Yeah, it does look like an impossible task to predict the team that will finish sixth. Hiren, what did you make of the performances? Because yeah, it was just another crazy game.
First of all, hello to everyone. Yes, it was a crazy game, and I think इतना हाई स्कोरिंग एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज जिस तरह का ईस्ट बंगाल के साथ हम कल भी बात कर रहे थे कि इस सीजन उन्होंने डिफेंसिवली ज्यादा खेला है, बट आज विद दी यू कैन से कि इन फर्स्ट हाफ एंड केरला ब्लास्टर गेट दैट जिक्सन सिंह रेड कार्ड, उसके बाद यहाँ पे 9 men down, देन नाउचा गेट्स रेड एंड देन 8 men down, एंड देन आई थिंक ईस्ट बंगाल फाइंड दैट यू कैन से कि मोर चांसेस, एंड उसके लिए आई थिंक इंडिविजुअल एरर्स भी रही. अगर आप कपल ऑफ गोल्स देखेंगे तो वहाँ पे आप बोल सकते हैं कि इंडिविजुअल एरर्स भी काफी देखने को मिली. आई थिंक गोल कीपिंग में आप देखो, करणजीत वाज नॉट अप टू द मार्क. स्टार्टिंग से वो लग रहा था, जिस तरह से उसका कलेक्शन हो रहा था, इस डिसीजन मेकिंग, एंड पहला गोल भी जो प्रभ शुक्र ने भी जो गोल खाया, वो भी ही कुड हैव बीन सेव दैट गोल, आई थिंक. तो आई थिंक अगर आप गोल देखेंगे सारे गोल, तो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़े से सिली मिस्टेक से कुछ गोल आए हैं यहाँ पे, that can be avoided from the both the side, I would say, not only from the one side, and both the team की side से यहाँ पे on goal भी आए हैं. So it was a little bit chaotic game for me, to be honest. I think structurally I would not say it's in terms of the perfect game, particularly from Kerala Blaster, and definitely when you down to 9 men, then definitely it will be difficult to, you can say, ki stop opposition. But I little bit I agree with this, sir, regarding the coach issues also. I think no doubt about that, you lost many key players in this season with the injuries, उसमें कोई doubt नहीं है. But still, you have some of the very good players. Indian contingent wise, you have a very good players. So Leskovic is not fully fit. Yes, Kumar Reddy is also, मतलब जो उन्होंने गोल, I think PVO विष्णु ने जो गोल, आई थिंक वो पेनल्टी मिला था ना उस गोल पे, तो उसने एरर किया. नहीं सॉरी, साउल क्रेस्पो ने जो गोल मारा, दैट वाज ए. हाँ, तो अब देखिए कि I think there is some issue in Kerala Blasters, because second half of the season में उन्होंने सिर्फ 4 पॉइंट लिए हैं, सिर्फ only 4 पॉइंट out of 30 पॉइंट, they only get a 4 पॉइंट in second half of the season. तो आप सोचो, अगर फर्स्ट हाफ में अगर एक आध 2 गेम ऊपर नीचे रहे होते, then their 6th position race is out. And I think ये एक मोमेंटम काफी ज्यादा जरूरी है. अगर हाँ,
forget, even at this situation, if things go, even if they had lost one of the games, let's say they do not beat FC Goa, just think about that match. That is 3 points.
हाँ
for Kerala Blasters, that comeback game. You lose
हाँ
that match. You allow other teams
रेफरी
of
भाई
37 points to get into the playoffs.
रेफरी भाई वन साइड नहीं था भाई, that was a clear yellow on the Jackson Singh on a second yellow and there was a clear red, तो उसमें कोई डिसीजन नहीं बनता भाई, काफ के ऊपर जब आप पैर रख देते हो, so that's a clear yellow भाई, आपने इंटेंशनली रखा है नॉन इंटेंशनली रखा है, doesn't matter भाई,
Yeah,
सीधा आप
dangerous
वहां पे
tackle.
पैर रख देते हो, that's a yellow card.
Yeah, exactly. And another, I think Deepak Das was asking, how do you rate East Bengal's defense? Although they came out victorious, like Hiren said, there were a couple of goals that were avoidable as well.
See, for East Bengal, I think today it was about either you win or you perish, right? So even though, of course, even if you had lost today, with 18 points, you still theoretically were in the mix. But today it was about trying to win it, and they put pressure on their opponents. Kerala Blasters are, I don't know, they're just, sorry to say that, they're horrendous. They were terrible today, And I have said this multiple times over the last few weeks. I feel Jackson Singh is not fit. And I think today Jackson Singh proved that he is not fit. Not only him, but I think a lot of players in the Kerala Blasters. And then the questions arise. People are saying this heat and all that kind of stuff. Everybody is playing in these conditions. Yesterday, Vukavanovic talked, when we go to away matches, the ground facilities are not as good, this and that. I'm not even blaming the teams, but these are the realities. Listen, you know what you're getting into. If you are telling me that 2 days before the Super Cup, you were not sure where you're staying and where you're training, is that then a question? Should you think about questioning the system, or is it your own management which didn't do the homework? Right. So those are the questions to me, and that's the thing. I mean, and I've said that a few times in the last few days. Those coaches who have worked without moaning, without criticizing, those have been the most successful this season.
Yeah.
Peter Kratke
एक
and
पॉइंट, हाँ एक पॉइंट में यहाँ पे ऐड करना चाहूंगा, उसमें ही काफी सारे लोग बोल रहे कि ह्यूमिडिटी ज्यादा थी, कंप्लीटली एग्री, आई थिंक वो लग रहा था ज्यादा था, बट थिंक अबाउट द प्लेयर्स who played at the 2 p.m. 3 p.m. in women's league in the your lower division, तो भाई उन्होंने तो कभी ये नहीं बोला आप कि भाई ये हम इधर इधर 2 बजे खेल रहे, 3 बजे खेल रहे, 4:30 बजे खेल रहे, हाँ सारी चीजें हैं, एंड आप देखिए कि दोनों टीमें खेल रही थी ना, ऐसा तो नहीं था कि सिर्फ केरला ब्लास्टर के लिए डिसएडवांटेज था, कंडीशन दोनों के लिए सेम थी, ईस्ट बंगाल भी खेली रही थी यहाँ पे उतनी ह्यूमिडिटी में, ये बात बिल्कुल सही है कि इस तरह की सिचुएशन को आप बेटर तरीके से कर सकते हैं, बट ये बोलना सिर्फ कि भाई ये केरला ब्लास्टर के लिए डिसएडवांटेज था, आई थिंक दैट वाज कंप्लीटली एग्री.
Hiren, one point. Yes, I know that the humidity certainly is a factor, but this 35 plus 40 plus temperature is something which in certain parts of the world you have to play in. That's the reality, right? You want what do we want? Do we want a longer season, or do we want that we avoid the monsoons, we avoid the heat? It will not happen. And as bad as those 2 o'clock 3 o'clock kickoffs are, what are the options? Yeah, there are certain grounds where you cannot play in the evening. The cost of the lighting is too high. These are realities. People are just asking for you can't play at this time. Why? That happens. Even in Sevilla, I've seen matches, it's 45 degrees and they're playing in La Liga.
La Liga, yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Are we these are Indian conditions. This is a reality of our weather. And if I'm Kerala Blasters, this is my concern. East Bengal is coming from a little bit of a different climate into this. Why are you not able to cope on your home ground?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. There's no excuse. You're the most used to it. I mean, it makes no sense. But yeah, Poojan's saying on East Bengal, guys, 2 more games, they've got to win both. I think that's the case for most of those teams in and around that 6th spot, and they've got 2 games left. They need to win both.
But it doesn't, at the moment, it doesn't matter. Goal difference doesn't matter because head-to-head comes in. So and again, I don't know the head-to-head at the moment. So therefore, it's an open thing.
But East Bengal के लिए नहीं राहुल, 2 गेम रिमाइंडर है, बट दोनों आपके 6 पोजीशन ओपोनेंट के सामने है, बेंगलुरु एफसी एंड पंजाब एफसी. सो दैट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग. इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी कि केरला ब्लास्टर्स की जो ऑलरेडी क्वालिफाई कर चुके हैं, तो मैं भी थोड़ा सा मतलब उस सेंस में ले कि भाई, या फिर एफसी गोवा, या फिर ऐसे कि भाई वो इस मैचेस को थोड़ा सा वो लेंगे कि भाई थोड़ा सा रोटेशन कर ले, किसी प्लेयर को वो करा दे. बट आपके दोनों मैचेस ऐसे अपोनेंट के सामने कि दे आल्सो वांट टू गेट इनटू द 6 पोजीशन, सो इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी इजी. एंड आई थिंक हमने ये मतलब जैसे सर ने भी बोला कि देखते आ रहे कि यू विल आज भले ही चाहे ईस्ट बंगाल 4-2 से जीती हो, लेकिन आप नेक्स्ट मैच में बेंगलुरु के सामने ये नहीं बोल सकते कि वो 100% उसी कॉन्फिडेंस आपको देगी, क्योंकि ये सारी 6 पोजीशन की टीम ऐसी कर रही है कि एक मैच में आपको लगेगा कि हाँ भाई आपको एक कर लेगी, बट नेक्स्ट मैच में दे आर गोइंग टू लूज. पंजाब एफसी के लिए भी हमने सेम बोला था कि भाई वो कर सकते हैं, बट दे हैव बीन, यू कैन से कि क्या बोलते, कंप्लीटली मैच्ड अप. सो दिस इज द इश्यू विद दैट 6 पोजीशन जो भी टीमें फाइट कर रही है. ये सबके लिए लागू होते हैं, सिर्फ ऐसी नहीं कि 2-3 टीम हो. आप देखिए जमशेदपुर ने भी ऐसा किया है, चेन्नई ने भी ऐसा किया है, नॉर्थ ईस्ट ने भी ऐसा किया है, आपकी बीएफसी ने भी ऐसा किया है, इवन ईस्ट बंगाल ने भी ऐसा किया. एवरीवन, पंजाब, एवरीवन कहीं ना कहीं एक मैच जीते, नेक्स्ट 2-3 मैचेस दे हैव बीन कंप्लीटली, यू कैन से कि आउट ऑफ, यू कैन से कि दैट फॉर्म. सो इट विल बी, आई थिंक, मेरे को लगता है इट्स गोइंग टू बी लास्ट मैच. आई डोंट थिंक सो कि इतना इजीली हो जाने वाला है कि ये दोनों मैच जीत जाएंगे, दे विल क्वालीफाई, ये एक मैच जीत जाएंगे, दे विल क्वालीफाई. आई थिंक जब तक वो जीतेंगे नहीं तब तक बताना मुश्किल है, बिकॉज इन लोगों से वो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता कि हाँ ये निकाल लेंगे मैच.
And it continues tomorrow. Chennai play Jamshedpur
Exactly.
tomorrow, right? So
Jamshedpur,
therefore, this is an insane one where also, I mean, for example, Northeast play Kerala on Saturday, right? So the point is, again, Vukomanovic said, "Oh, you know what? We've got so much of travel, this and that, and everything." I know that, and he's saying we had 14 hours from Jamshedpur to Kochi. Then I would say you guys haven't done a right planning. You can do it in 10, right? So I've done travel, I've organized travel, so I know that myself. It was a huge thing in 2014. You couldn't fly directly from Mumbai to Guwahati. You had to go via Kolkata. But the point is, these are realities, right? And I have to prepare my team for that. But what I find shocking again with the Blasters is that they've literally fallen apart. Certain players don't seem to play a role. I don't know what happened with, if is Pritam Kotal fit or not. I don't know why he suddenly, because he was trusting him a lot at the start. Some of those praised youngsters, which can happen. You know, they've had the high, and then, you know, what I've said about Indian players, when your team is on a high, you will see that the players are performing. To me, is very, very, you know.
But sir,
so that's an interesting one, huh?
मेरे को सबसे बड़ा इश्यू लगता है केरला के लिए प्रॉब्लम होने वाला है कि आप जिस अभी कंप्लीटली आपने जैसे बोला कि अभी जैसे फॉलो पार्ट हो गए हैं. आई थिंक दैट विल बी डेफिनेटली इम्पैक्ट द कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ द प्लेयर इन द प्लेऑफ आल्सो. एंड आई थिंक जो अगर फैंस वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि चलो अब तो क्वालिफाई कर गए, तो ये रिमाइंडर ऑफ द 1-2 मैच जो भी बचे हैं उतने ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. बट आई थिंक इट इज गोइंग टू बी रियली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अ प्लेयर्स कॉन्फिडेंस टू, यू कैन से, डिलीवर इन द प्लेऑफ आल्सो. एंड अगर आप इस तरह के मोमेंटम के साथ जाएंगे, देन डेफिनेटली इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट कि आप वहां पे भी कुछ अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दे पाएंगे. सो आई थिंक वो मोमेंटम हर कोई टीम चाहती है कि बिफोर गोइंग इनटू द प्लेऑफ यहाँ पे अपने प्लेयरों के अंदर आए. बट डेफिनेटली आज आई थिंक लगा कि भाई केरला ब्लास्टर इज नॉट इनटू द, यू कैन से, अपवर्ड ट्रैजेक्टरी एट द मोमेंट.
Guys, a couple of people in the chat. Ayan, I saw Parmeshwar earlier also saying BFC could finish in the 6th spot, and yeah, potentially. You just can't.
Everyone can pay. Yeah, Rahul, everyone can finish on the 6th. Mathematically, everyone can. But पहले वो point तो लेके दे, मैं पहले 3 point वो लेके दे, बाद में बोलेंगे.
I go back to that point, Rahul. Right? Remember when we were talking about the top spot 3 months ago? This team has 2 matches less. This team has 3 matches less. Oh, they're going to win. They're going to jump to the top. It has not happened. The only team who's actually achieved it is Mumbai City in the end. And to some extent, Mohun Bagan in between. The others have failed. The Blasters were in the top. Goa were in the top. Odisha were in the top. And then they had less matches. They've not been able to catch up. So the question is, towards the end of the season, is a question of consistency, I feel. And the question is, there needs to be some positivity, and a lot of these coaches have gone into a negative tangent, which has not helped themselves and their teams, you know, because I need to, even if the chance is 0.0001% or whatever, you need to still believe it and then push for it. You know, I would have today said to the Blasters, you know what? Let's push and try and finish fourth. Let's get that home advantage in the playoffs. Let's make that the target of the last few games.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. It's just he's been going on for weeks saying, oh, you know, this is bad. This and the Super Cup comes again and again. Oh, you know, they shouldn't have scheduled it. Too many matches, this and that, everything. Does anyone in Europe complain that, you know, you're playing every 3-4 days on a regular basis? Does any manager in the Premier League or La Liga or Bundesliga of the top teams complain that they have to play every 3-4 days? You know, but they had this conversation yesterday with a German team, Saarbrücken, third tier, who reached the cup semi-final, right? And they asked them, how was it that you had to play so many extra matches in the cup? And actually, de facto, was 5 matches extra over the season, right? But they said, you know, for us, it was a pride to play those extra matches, right? So therefore, I don't understand. It's you know, so that's it's a big thing.
Yeah, I just want to take this from Sanskar as well, Arnav, because I think one way or the other, either for these teams or for the others, these 2 games are going to be so crucial. East Bengal against BFC and the East Bengal against Punjab. All 3 teams fighting for top 6 places, and a loss.
It
for
could
any
be,
of
could
these,
not be. I think Chennai have an advantage at the moment. If Chennai can win tomorrow, Chennai are in the driver's seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, I wouldn't expect it. I would tomorrow expect a draw, and then suddenly you have 3 teams on 22 points.
एग्जैक्टली एक पॉइंट और यहाँ पे नहीं राहुल, यहाँ पे काफी सारे लोग एक और पॉइंट बोल रहे हैं रिगार्डिंग द इंजरी. आई थिंक डेफिनेटली देखिए, आपके जब मेन प्लेयर आपके नहीं होते एंड पर्टिकुलरली फॉरेनर्स, तो डेफिनेटली थोड़ा सा आपका, आप चाहे रिप्लेसमेंट लेके आओ, सारी चीजें सही है, और थोड़ा सा आपका सीजन डीरेल होता है. बट ये सिर्फ बोल देना कि इट्स टोटली बिकॉज ऑफ द इंजरी, आई डोंट एग्री विद दैट. बिकॉज अगर आप देखिए बाकी टीम्स ने भी ऐसा झेला है, किसी ने कोच चेंज हुआ है, किसी ने, आप देखिए मुंबई सिटी के कितने प्लेयर यहाँ पे आपके रिप्लेसमेंट लाए, वो भी इंजर्ड हो गए. ये इकार गुरुज के ना लाए, वो भी इंजर्ड हो गया. तो ये हर किसी टीम ने यहाँ पे इस तरह के प्रॉब्लम फेस किए. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ केरला ब्लास्टर, मे भी उसमें 1-2 नंबर ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, बट ये सिर्फ बोलना कि सिर्फ इंजरी की वजह से हम यहाँ पे वो हो गए, दैट इज नॉट द राइट थिंग. हाँ, and that is the now that you can say ki new normal. You now have to have that, you can say ki keep in mind when you start the season कि भाई ये होने वाला है, because of this scheduling आपको injuries होने ही वाली है.
Yeah,
I know. I just want to ask you, because Blasters, of course, things are not going great. Do you think they can really challenge for the ISL trophy once they make it to the playoffs?
That's a completely new ball game, you know. So therefore, I would not, you know, want to sort of speculate on that. But for the Blasters, it is a question of, again, as I said, I feel Vukomanovic is at the moment too negative. He needs to reinvent himself. I think that if Kerala Blasters want to be successful in the playoffs, it starts with the coach, and that coach has the mentality, you know, that he can get a lot out of this team. He has the capabilities, but at the moment he's on such a negative tangent that to me, I feel he's a liability at the moment to the team.
And could this be the sort of end of Igor Stimac's reign, Hiren, you think, if this continues for a Blasters?
Ivan Vukomanovic.
Yeah. Who did I say?
You
Did
said
I just-
Igor Stimac.
I'm so sorry.
By the way, both are the same thing.
Vukomanovic. I mean, we've been talking so much about Igor Stimac going. It's just,
But
it's in my head.
but at the moment, Ivan is also in this same shoes of Igor Stimac, so don't worry about that. But I think definitely देखिए, एक चीज उसने लगातार 3 सीजन प्लेऑफ में आपको जरूर क्वालिफाई करवाया है, उसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. बट अगर आप जिस तरह का आपका क्लब का और फैंस का जो सपना है, अगर उसको लेके जाना है, देन यू नीड दैट, यू कैन से कि मेंटालिटी कोच. एंड इंजरी की मैं पहले बात कर रहा था, एक टाइम पे भी हमने देखा था कि मोहन बगान के कितने सारे प्लेयर इंजर्ड होते थे. आई थिंक कितने 8, 9, 10 कितने एक साथ 10-12 प्लेयर आपके इंजर्ड थे एक टाइम पे. सो अब देखिए, दैट इज द पार्ट एंड पार्सल. आपको सॉल्यूशन ढूंढने पड़ेंगे. आई थिंक सर ने बिल्कुल सही बोला कि जिस तरह से एक बार प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में नहीं हुआ है, लगातार आप देखिए सुपर कप के टाइम पे उसने बोल दिया, जैसे वो मैचेस हार गए, कि भाई सुपर कप हमारे लिए प्रायोरिटी. तो आपके लिए सीजन में प्रायोरिटी क्या, सिर्फ ऐसे लेके चल रहे हो आप क्या? एंड आई थिंक दैट इज दैट मेंटालिटी कि भाई ये हम हार गए इसलिए हमारे लिए मेंटालिटी नहीं है, और सॉरी आपके लिए हमारे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. दैट इज नॉट द राइट थिंग. यू हैव टू गो फॉर एवरीथिंग. जैसे सर ने बोला कि भाई आप अभी आपको इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू यू कैन से कि फिनिश ऑन द फोर, बट यू हैव टू गो फॉर इट. आपको अपनी टीम को चैलेंज देना पड़ेगा कि भाई हमें हमारा 36 पॉइंट कर देना है. फिर एफसी गोवा चाहे भले मैच जीत के हमसे आगे निकल जाए, फिफ्थ पे फिनिश कर ले, वो उनके ऊपर है. बट हमारा टारगेट होना चाहिए कि वी हैव टू गो विद द मैक्सिमम पॉइंट. एंड मैंने जो बोला कि मोमेंटम काफी ज्यादा जरूरी है. लास्ट सीजन मुंबई सिटी ने सबसे बड़ी गलती यही की. अगर आप देखें कि जैसे ही वो, क्योंकि पहले से वो सीरीज जीत गए थे, उन्होंने लास्ट मैचेस में अपने प्लेयर को रेस्ट करवाया. एंड वहां पे उन्होंने आपको याद होगा ईस्ट बंगाल से भी वो हारे थे. 18 मैच का जो उनका विनिंग स्ट्रीक था वो 1-0 से, जब वो आई थिंक 19th या 20th मैच खेल रहे थे तब 1-0 से वो हारे थे. एंड वहां से आप देखिए कि वो मोमेंटम वो प्ले ऑफ में लेके नहीं, रिकवरी नहीं कर पाया फिर आप. एंड दैट इज द बिग इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. तो अगर आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो कि चलो ये तो 2-3 मैच आपके ऐसे ही है, हम तो ऑलरेडी प्ले ऑफ में जा चुके हैं, प्ले ऑफ में सब कुछ चेंज हो जाएगा, ऐसे टर्न अराउंड नहीं होगा. ऐसे टर्न अराउंड नहीं होगा. इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट. एंड दैट इज द मोस्ट कंसर्निंग पार्ट होना चाहिए यहाँ पे इवान वुकानोविच एंड केरला ब्लास्टर फैंस के लिए, कि अगर ऐसी हालत अभी है तो हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू कम्पीट इन द प्ले ऑफ.
Anwar, again, I was just thinking about this. When Kerala Blasters fans or the management reflect back on the season, how do they look at this? Is this what is success for the Blasters with this team?
I see there are two sides to the story. I think for me is if I see that fan base, and it's one of those few real fan base, huge fan base success stories of the Indian Super League of the 10 years. That is the Kerala Blasters fan base. I would say that fan base deserves a trophy. You know, it doesn't matter what fan you are of which club or whatever. I feel that the Blasters deserve a trophy. But to me, there seems to be sort of similarities since season one with the Blasters of why they're falling short. And to me, they need to look at themselves and try and find a coach who can work within the system, who can be a fan favorite like Ivan has been or is, but also deliver the results at the right time. I think that is my concern. You know, when the pressure situation, they often don't perform, and it's a weird one because I would have liked to have seen last season. You know, that infamous Sunil Chhetri free kick goal. They were better than BFC at the time. I would have liked last season. I think they had a shot, maybe going far in the tournament. You know, but to me, it looks to me, whatever also happens towards the end. I think they will need to have a restart in the summer because the last few weeks it's just not good enough. And also they have to ask themselves, you know, they've done a lot of good things with the signings or with developing young players, but some of their winter transfers were not too wise. I mean, okay, Feather Chiani scored today. That was a smart, that was a clever goal. So, but to me, but still, Emmanuel, you know, those guys, the injuries, of course, add up. But it is your second line again, and this is what I feel. If you look at the lineup today, yes, you have some of your experienced players, but you realize Jigson is not fit, and some of those young players who are coming on, are not that experienced. You know, and that to me is. These players need a see. That's why I always say, you know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this player, that player, this player, that player needs to get a chance." No, they're not ready for international football. And this last week, on a lot of things, sadly, has been a proof. I say, on what I have been saying for weeks and months. You can call for this player, for that player, whatever player. This is a proof that these players are not ready for bigger things. You know, That's what I'm saying. Jigson was not ready to play. And he played both matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Icon alone, saying that a lot of the teams are dependent on foreign players. Like the Blasters, I think they're heavily dependent on their foreign contingent. and that hasn't served him
All,
very well.
Rahul,
But
all,
all, all,
all,
all.
all.
Hmm.
The
Yeah, yeah, fair
the
enough.
5-6 foreigners decide on how good, you know. To me, very, very clearly, is if your foreigners are good and your foreigners are right, you will be
Yeah,
successful. And it sometimes makes
Exactly.
one foreigner makes a difference. I just say Yoni Kauko. Yoni
yeah.
Kauko is the best example. Mohan Bagan looked average before the winter break. Yoni Kauko comes in and he's a different player.
Hiren and Ram, both. Do you guys think he deserves a contract extension? Vukomanovic? No.
I think 3 year is a जैसे फुटबॉलिंग टर्म्स में बोला जाता है कि एवरेज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेंथ ऑफ द कोच इज 1.5 year. So and I think 3 season has been given उसको and I think now they look for another option if they want to go
Yes.
move into that direction because वो एक मेंटालिटी का भी मेरे को लगता है. देखिए काफी सारी चीजें उनके ये कंप्लीटली एग्री आप कर सकते हैं कि ये सीजन कुछ चीजें आपके अगेंस्ट में रही है बट व्हाट आर दी पॉजिटिव थिंग्स तो यहाँ पे कोच ने उस टाइम पे यहाँ पे सॉल्यूशन निकाले हैं या फिर उसको करने की कोशिश की है वो भी आई थिंक वो काउंट होना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से एंड आई थिंक दे नीड टू मूव इनटू दैट न्यू डायरेक्शन मेरे को ये लगता है डेफिनेटली. एंड दूसरा आई थिंक ईस्ट बंगाल की अगर हम बात करें अच्छा गोलकीपर इज वर्स्ट. देखिए गोलकीपर का भाई आपका मेन गोलकीपर है नहीं एंड आज आज उसने उसने करंजीत ने गलतियां भी काफी सारी की है नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. But this is what happened, right? Acha, Sheikh Ivan, he has created a personality.
Any truth in this? Changte to Mohan Bagan?
I mean,
No,
there
no,
are
no.
multiple rumors going around. I would think not. I mean, it's the same rumor that I've been hearing. Suresh is leaving BFC and joining East Bengal. I mean, our friend Shine has been talking about it as well.
Yeah.
And he's been given a 5-year contract. So therefore, I don't know.
Ah,
Again,
2000.
it might be true. I don't.
28.
After Changte's performance the other night, if Changte leaves Mumbai City, I see Changte going abroad, not staying in India. That's the only thing that I see if he's leaving.
Fair enough. Fair enough,
But
guys.
again, Indian football is so crazy. You never know. Mohan Bagan might throw out an incredible figure at him and a transfer fee to Mumbai City, and Mumbai City said, "Okay, let's see what we can get."
Yeah.
You know, and to talk about Karanjit, I mean, I know Karanjit for more than 15 years. I remember his time when he was at JCT in the old I League days. A solid goalkeeper. But the goalkeeper depends also on his defense. Yeah, he did his mistakes. That penalty surely is his mistake. You know, but to me is the defense is not settled. You know, and one of the disappointments I thought last season he was a little further down the development is for example Hormipam. Hormipam for me this season didn't develop. You know, and again we go back to that discussion of consistency of development. All these problems we talk again and again and again about Indian players. You know, is the take and Pujan talking about East Bengal about Clayton Silva. Pujan, Clayton Silva is a very simple thing. The guy's 37. You know, and East Bengal has lived off his back in the last 1.5 years. Yeah. So to me that is one thing. And
But sir, I don't understand.
I would have liked Felicio to score. I mean, if Felicio had scored that was his shot, right? The Berlin boy. So therefore, and Victor Vasquez.
But I don't. I don't understand why East Bengal still want to continue with the Clinton Silva next season. They already given them you can see कि वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्सटेंशन के लिए बात कर रहे हैं. If he's a 37 and you are going with that, you can say कि AFC competition also. So maybe you go with
there are coaches. There are coaches who trust certain players. There are coaches who believe in certain players. But the question to me is, yeah, as good as Clayton Silva has been for East Bengal, scored a lot of crucial goals. I would try and look for a younger striker who can guarantee me that goals. And I would look around the ISL, look at which strikers are available. I know Diamantakos has been linked to East Bengal, to Mumbai City, to other teams as well. There's some crazy ones going around. So that's why let's see where this whole thing goes.
How can you say that that was not a penalty? That was a very clear-cut penalty. No
See, that's the
discussion
other
about
problem, right? Indian football fans and their take on reality. No? I said it last year when, about the Indian national team, when everyone thought we were, going to conquer Asia and all that stuff. That's a reality, right? It doesn't matter if I like it or not. There are certain realities, and the referee was good today overall. And all the
that.
cards, the fouls, the penalties, you can't say anything, right? There are other days where we can just discuss these things, but today the Blasters have only to. Naucha, what is he doing? What is
Doing
he
exactly.
thinking in that moment? Huh?
वो सुरेश जैसा किया, वो सुरेश ने कल क्या सोच के, मतलब क्यों यार ऐसे कौन करता है बॉक्स के अंदर ऐसा भाई? हाउ कैन यू किक समवन इन अ बॉक्स? चलो बाहर आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स मार दिया तो समझ में आता है, इन अ बॉक्स हाउ कैन यू किक समवन लाइक दैट? एंड वो भी बॉल नहीं था भाई, चाह रहा था बंदा, पीछे से आप मार रहे हो.
So Ivan qualified KBFC for 3 years. Other coaches 7 years to qualify. My question is, are you happy with the qualification for the playoffs, or do you want to win something?
Yeah.
That was a simple question.
Exactly.
Like, I again go back. A team like Kerala Blasters with that fan base deserves trophies. He threw away the Super Cup even before it started.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? Right?
I know that's exactly why I asked you, because what is success for his Kerala Blasters? Because they've been one of those teams that's always been in and around the top sides, and they just never seem to get over the line. I mean, they have to be challenging. There's no doubt about it. Shaggy just saying the same thing. Naucha lost his cool. Suresh has lost his cool as well. Exactly. You can't make those mistakes when you're playing in big
Playing at
games.
that level. इस लेवल पे आप मिस्टेक नहीं कर सकते. कूल हर कोई लॉस कर देता है. सही में आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है. But at this level, with this contract and this money, that is a better thing expected from you. And इस तरह की मिस्टेक टीम के लिए ज्यादा वो हो जाती है. So in that sense, I think it's not an acceptable mistake. And I think definitely coach ने भी maybe after the match यहाँ पे बोला होगा. That was a not an acceptable mistake.
Yeah, guys. But still, we roll on. Chennai versus Jamshedpur tomorrow, and Arnava, you already mentioned it. It's huge. I mean, as a BFC fan, I'm just hoping for a Jamshedpur win, because then it's in our hands. We just need to win our games, which I don't know will happen or not. But yeah, at least it's in our hands. What do you guys expect from this one? Jamshedpur need to win. So do Chennai. I mean, yeah. What are you expecting, Arnava?
Chennai are suddenly again under pressure. Because they upset one of the best teams in the league the other night. And they did that convincingly. Can Chennai perform like they did in the second half against Mohun Bagan? Hiren is already shaking his head.
Because ऐसा मैंने इससे पहले एक बार एक्सपेक्ट किया था चेन्नई से, और सेकंड मैच में उन्होंने इतना बेकार खेला
कि that is the point now with all the teams. This is the problem. Except 2-3 teams, this has been the problem of the season. Consistency. Sometimes you think, how many times did you say, oh, you know what, Northeast could kuch kar sakta hai. We spoke about it. Jamshedpur, are anda Khalid Jamil, are ye wo kar dega. Where is that? Right? It has happened. BFC, a lot of it. Rahul, how many times did Rahul expect, from there? It's a crazy league, and for Chennai the situation is very, very simple. If Chennai win tomorrow, because they have a match less, the others then have to catch Chennai. So that's the interesting one. And Pujan is saying he wants a draw. I think
Pujan,
Rahul wants a draw as well.
Same works for all of us. We can have fun tomorrow together.
So the point is, tomorrow either it will be a drab match, and it's like wait and watch and let's see, or it's gonna be boom bam. And you have both sides have those players. You have players. Chennai have shown it against Mohun Bagan. If Crivellaro, it depends. Actually, tomorrow is Crivellaro versus Manzoro to me. Which playmaker is actually better on the day?
Yeah. Who do you think will be the better playmaker? Before I go to Hiren, just want to get this one.
See, I think Crivellaro has shown over the years what he is capable of doing in this league. But he's been off quite a number of games this season. So therefore, and Rafa Crivellaro is again one of those very special players in this league over the years, right? They've had And Chennai have had, they used to have initially as Elano Bloomer, one of the best
Yeah.
playmakers this league has seen. So therefore, if you ask me, I personally would go with Chennai, because I like Owen Coyle. I love the way the energy he was showing before the pre-match press conference, after the after-match press conference. He was on fire, and he's one of those coaches you can hear throughout the match, who's trying to give players the inputs that they need. And this is, this is something that we need sometimes, because again, some of our Indian players need to get those inputs throughout those 90 minutes, if we like it or not, because that some of the basic football the football basics sometimes are not there. So therefore, and Owen Coyle has done it in the past, right? He's taken them to a final. So therefore, and Shaggy's right. That's the for people who are trying to predict this league, this is the biggest problem, because it could be a great Chennai turns up, wins it. Okay. On the other side, it might be that Jamshedpur turns up and Chennai doesn't. But both might turn up. Both might not turn up at all. So you've got so many options and permutations. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely, it's going to be so interesting. Hiren, your take on this one, and just let us know who you
I
think
think
about.
नहीं नहीं I think I can't say, मतलब मैंने जैसे बोला पहले भी बोल रखा है कि ये कौन सी टीम कैसे खेलेगी, जैसे सबने बोला सभी डिफरेंट सिनेरियो है, you can't say that, but in Rafael Crivellaro is also one of my favorite players, but I think at the moment Manzar is in a good place, so maybe I think for me at the moment लगता है कि शायद
But Hiren, Manzoro has not played well over the last few matches. No? He was better. He had that phase, right? And the last few games, he wasn't as good again.
But I still feel कि कल I think home game है ना जमशेदपुर का,
नहीं away चेन्नई में
away game है, अच्छा let's see, and I think interesting battle होगी. I think it will be interesting battle. I am going with the 50-50. मतलब मेरे को ये अभी नहीं लग रहा, चाहे भले ही चेन्नई एफसी मोहन बगान को हरा के आ रही है, but I still don't feel that you can say कि कॉन्फिडेंस की वो मतलब मैच निकाल ही लेंगे. 100% वो श्योरिटी नहीं आ रही है, और आई वुड से 80-90% भी वो नहीं आ रहा है. आई थिंक इट्स अ 50-50 गेम एंड इंटरेस्टिंग मैच होगा. एंड जैसे बेंगलुरु फैंस, ईस्ट बंगाल फैंस also keep eye on this match because their future also depend on this kind of matches result. So overall it will be I'm expecting a exciting game. I think अब से सारे गेम उस सेंस में I think particularly जिसमें 6 पोजीशन टीम खेल रही है, every match will be more exciting, and we'll definitely see a much more extra effort to get that you can say result. So I'm expecting a very well. And ओएन कोयल के बारे में आज उनके जो यहाँ पे चेन्नई एफसी के आई थिंक सीईओ या फिर उनके वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ने उन्होंने बोला है कि वी आर कंटिन्यू विथ हिम नेक्स्ट सीजन. सो नेक्स्ट सीजन भी आपको देखने को मिल जाएंगे. आई थिंक नेक्स्ट सीजन में एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कि ओएन कोयल अगर उनके क्या बोलते हैं साइनिंग्स उनको मिल जाएंगे, देन डेफिनेटली मेरे को लगता है कि चेन्नई एफसी नेक्स्ट सीजन विल मच डू बेटर देन दिस.
And to add, I think the comment from Shaggy is another good one. I think Shaggy's on fire today with his comments. This is now the phase of the season where the big impact players need to show themselves.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night is a big one. If Chennai can win this one, they're in the driver's seat, because they have then the advantage of 2 points or 3 points ahead of the rest. While for Jamshedpur, a win is a must, because otherwise they fall back.
Yeah.
So therefore, yeah, it's a very, very interesting one where this whole title race is going.
I know, but I just again Hiren wasn't able to, but I wanted to ask you as well, if you had to call this game, who would you give it to?
Chennai.
Okay.
I think they have the flow. I think they got the flow at the right time. And this is something which, going to Kolkata, coming back and beating Mohun Bagan in the way they did, that gives you a huge push.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
I would think, Chennai.
Hiren, same question. If I had,
But I could be totally wrong. I could be
Yeah.
totally wrong.
I
जो
think
कि
this topic
पिछले 2-3 दिन से हो भी रहा है, हम दोनों के प्रेडिक्शन रॉन्ग ही हो रहे हैं, so
exactly.
that's why I will not give a prediction. I think it will be a 50-50 game.
I, as a BFC fan, I'm hoping for a good draw or a Jamshedpur win. But
अच्छा राहुल, तुमको खुश करने के लिए I am expecting it might be a draw. It might be a draw. It might be a draw.
thanks so
So
much, Hiren. Hopefully, this one comes out to.
Hiren, this is not what Rahul wants show, huh? So I want your take on it.
but
Yeah.
नहीं, मैंने यही वही बोला कि राहुल को खुश करने के लिए मैं ये बोलता हूँ कि इट विल बी ड्रॉ, एंड मेरे प्रेडिक्शन अभी पिछले 2-3 दिन से कंप्लीटली ऑफ गए हैं, सो राहुल खुश भी नहीं हो सकता, और एक साइड में बोल भी
इस बार
दिया
सही
कि
होगा. I'm pretty confident कि चलेगा. And yeah, let's hope that that's the case. And for me at least. But yeah, tomorrow interesting game, guys. Chennai, Jamshedpur, catch it because of course the top 6 race depends on it. We'll be here to discuss it after the game. Yeah, please do like and share our videos and subscribe to all the channels: Sports Kabri, Kirisari, and Arun Foot. We will be back tomorrow. Good night.
Wait. Hiren has to
Yeah,
say
no.
something, na? Hiren has to
Yeah,
say
Hiren.
something, na? About the numbers of subscribers, na?
yes guys, still we Aruna sir is away from 1K, so भाई उनके 1K करवा दो और मेरे 10K करवा दो, then and then only you can hear the good news about the Indian football. Otherwise there will be no ego stream shaking, no AFF reform, nothing will happen. So you have to do a 10K and 1K right now. अगर वो नहीं करते हो then there is no expectation. Thank you very much guys.
Good night, guys.
Thanks, good night.